This video is going to be a rather special one, as you can see from the thumbnail and the picture before you. GM Nightfall's rest in peace, 2019 to 2025. Or is that really the case? Well, it's the end of a pseudo-type era, in a sense. But we're not fully losing GM Nightfalls, but they're going to be in a different capacity. But this video is going to be rather special. It's a special time, shall we say. So let's reread what they said yesterday. I glossed over this too vague yesterday, and I should have covered this better than what I did. So I'll do just that. So come to Bungie.net again. Let's just reread this. While Nightfalls will remain accessible from World Tab in the Edge of Fate, they will no longer work on a weekly rotator, but rather on a daily rotator, and will include all current Nightfall strikes and battlegrounds. This required some changes on how the loot pool was delivered. Nightfall weapons are now legacy gear. Nightfall loot pool will be updated to include all previous Nightfall weapons that have origin traits. Nightfall rewards are on a knockout list until all Nightfall weapons have been unlocked. From then on, Nightfall weapons have a flat drop chance. Here's the kicker. Grandmaster Nightfalls no longer exist, as their purpose and function has been transferred to the portal screen and conquests. You will still experience Grandmaster difficulties, just in other activities. What they're doing is they're sunsetting the weekly node. It's not going to be like that now. It's going to be on a daily rotation. But there are going to be conquests. So these are like sort of triumphs that you're going to do on higher end difficulties, whether it be GM content, which all of the game can be GM content now. Most of the activities in the portal can be GM, or ultimate difficulty. So you're still going to have GM Nightfalls. You're going to have customized Grandmaster Nightfalls. It's a big deal. Let's show you the picture. Hang on. So here, I know it's Battlegrounds, but Battlegrounds are Nightfalls, as it's just stated. So you've got normal difficulty, advanced, expert, master, Grandmaster. I believe this is how it's... this image is a little bit older, but I believe this is right. And then you've got Ultimate Edition. So your Ultimate Edition is going to be your new Grandmaster difficulty. Grandmaster's still there, as you can see. So it's not getting sunset in the same capacity, but this does bring up a couple of issues. Number one, there's not going to be a weekly GM for people to go and look at with set modifiers so that people can go and do the GM and they don't need to think about mods in terms of making them themselves. And the culture of weekly Grandmasters is going to go away. It won't be just Nightfalls that are considered as Grandmaster content. You will be able to do a lot of things as a Grandmaster difficulty, because they're adding it as a difficulty to all other activities in the portal. Most of them, I believe. I don't know every single activity that they're doing in the portal, but most of them you can achieve the Grandmaster difficulty by customized GM content. All of the game will be GM content, most of it, in the portal at least. This is a W, this is a win, massive win. Customized GMs, we want this. The only problem is that taking the weekly GM away from us is going to present problems as a cultural perspective. There's going to be less emphasis on the GM Nightfall and more emphasis on doing GMs in everything. And GM content for YouTube and Twitch is going to change because of this. I should know because I'm in the midst of it, like right in the center of it, so I should know. I've said for years they should be having solo. You should be able to pick the surge you want, mods you want. This is build crafting. So you're getting build crafting even more with Armor 3.0 and your build crafting mods. Knowledge of mods will be paramount, and people will need to seek out video content to get the best out of these systems. I have done the Nightfall systems in the past. Customized Nightfalls have been a thing during Curse of Osiris. You might not want to believe that, but that was a system. I was there, I was part of it, and I would come up with interesting ideas on the Nightfall card to challenge myself and make them easier sometimes. But on this system, the easier or the hardest it gets depends on the mods you apply. So you're going to need video content more than ever. That's good for me. That's good for me. The more people that need GM advices, the more purpose I serve for the game. it's a win for me. But there are some losses. So because the GM weekly featured thing is going to go away, this might present a few issues, like, for example, GM.report. Now, I don't know everything about this, but I'm going to go into it. Let's just go through what this... if my damn browser will load. So let's just go what this Reddit post says. Does anyone have insight on what this truly means? Twig claims GM Nightfalls no longer exist. At face value, it sounds like GM Nightfalls are just gone, but that seems contradictory considering how Grandmasters is being extended onto more activities in Edge of Fate. I'm thinking they mean that this is no longer a standalone node for GM Nightfalls, instead of being integrated into Nightfalls in general or something along those lines. Couple of comments. Someone gives a good answer. Let's see. They still exist, just with different naming and more variety. That's what I'm thinking. 10,054 GM clears, gonna miss them. You basically get GM level content in other activities now. We'll see how it goes, but so far hopeful. So yeah, I think the Nightfalls part of GM Nightfalls is the thing getting removed. I think there will be just more activities that can be GM difficulty, which is true. Somebody's saying about GM onslaughts. So yeah, because of the fashion of Conquests and the Portal, they've basically sunset weekly GM. I think the Nightfalls still should have stayed weekly, not daily. Daily Nightfalls is going to present a problem, because if somebody views a video on Wednesday and I made a video on Tuesday about the Nightfall, the video is matterless. It's not matterless entirely, but it's a bit throwaway content. So I would say that the system's fine, but they need to go back to weekly Nightfall, not daily. I think daily's not the play, because there's going to be too much variety. People are going to look up videos, and it's going to be a problem, because if they're looking on Thursday and some creator made a video on Wednesday, that means you've got a 24-hour time limit per Nightfall on video content-wise. I'm talking about me now, not talking too much about you. I'm talking about me. It's going to present a bit of an issue going to daily GMs, but there's going to be other GM content. So we're just going to cover all GM content in the game, not just Nightfalls. That's what it's going to boil down to. So now going back to GM.reports, this is going to be presenting an issue because Chablo, the king of stats, is the emperor statman of D2. I mean, I don't think he's the only guy that monitors his website, but he's the main frontal man. He's been monitoring GM clears for the last few years, right? I don't know his stance on how he's going to track GM Nightfalls going forward, if he can or he can't. I don't know. I haven't asked him yet, because I'm not very sociable on Twitter and all that sort of stuff. I'm not sociable. I'm not very online sociable. So I haven't asked him. I haven't got round to it. Someone will ask him. But in the meantime, I'm not sure how he's going to track the website. But let's do some honourable mentions of the leaderboards for GMs on some interesting things. First thing, Stump is the #1 player in the world for overall GM clears since 2019 to 2025. He has 10,869 GM clears total. That's fire team clears. The guy was Equagan's right-hand man. I've spoken to him personally myself in the past. Stump, he knows who he is. I know who he is. Pretty decent guy. I've spoken to him a few times. Incredible. He's the king. He's the emperor of the world, Stump. He's the GM emperor. Bow down to the emperor. Kiss his boots, whatever he wears. He might be wearing Nike. I don't know what he's wearing. But there you go. Now I'm going to come on to all solo clears. So I'm not going to pick individual strikes, because that would take too long. There is solo speed as well. I mean, there's a lot of things we can say about this, but I'm just going to go to solo clears, and I'm going to cover the top 100 or so players with the amount of solo GM clears that has been done since 2019 to 2025. So we've got Mad Max, I like to call him, at 3,007 solo GM clears, #1 top in the world. That is an unfathomable amount of solo GM clears. It's incredible. Joe Mamba has #2, has 2,152 solo GM clears in the 6 years. It's an incredible amount. And fun fact about it, Joe knows who I am, and I made a video about this topic about three years ago or so, and Joe didn't have this amount of clears and it motivated him to do the clears. So I motivated an individual to get 2,152 solo GM clears. That's a success to me because I've inspired somebody else to stress themselves. And this guy has definitely stressed himself. When I say stress, I mean D2 stress. I mean really push yourself in the game. Don't be a baby. And he hasn't been a baby, has he? He's been a man. He's been incredible. 2,152. It's an incredible amount. Number 3, right, so if there's any player with a foreign name, I'll just say a foreign name of descent. This player with a foreign name, I need a translator, I can only speak English. He's number 3 at 1360 clears. Notice the gap between third place, second place and third place is actually huge. The gap between them, like just 300 or 200 solo GMs is a crazy amount. That's even more. Difference between that's like 700, then it's 900 between that, do you understand? Number 4, I can't pronounce his name, 904 solo GM clears. Number 5 at 811 clears. Number 6 at 582 clears. Number 7, 579 clears. All of foreign names of descent. Yapalapa at 569 clears at 8th place. 9th place, Ponzu 214, 568 clears. A foreign name at 10th place at 559 clears. 11th place, foreign name 485. Notice the amount of foreign players here that are, look, near the top. You talk about American players being good, I don't know. Look at this. And they're not cheeses. Highly doubt these would be cheeses. Chablo would not allow that on his website. So don't be having to go at me about saying, oh, some of them are cheeses. No, go and ask Chablo. Chablo will monitor that and he will ban anybody who cheats. That's just how that will go. So don't, it's a disclaimer, don't accuse anyone of cheating on this list. I don't want it. And you talk to me about it, I'll just ignore you. Murdo the God at 12th place, 478 clears. I've personally watched his videos. He has YouTube. An excellent. I think he might be Italian. I can't mind his descent. 13th place, Sensei, 450 clears. Legatus Maximus, 441 clears. We now know that is Kia Players. If Kia Players is watching his video, dude, you should just change your name to Kia Players. It's better for marketing for you. That's my advice. But other than that, Kia Players is one of the most similar players to my profile. When I look at other GM players, he is probably within the top 3 or 5 players who is as more similar to my playstyle as I am to him. He might be on a different platform. That's irrelevant. He thinks like me, in my opinion. I don't know him personally, but I do know he's got YouTube. But yeah, you should change his name to Kia Players. Then people know who you are. 15th place, Mr. Pink, 422 clears. Senna, 419 clears. 16th place, he's on console. I don't know if any of these players are on console, but if they are not, that would mean Senna is the first player on console to have the highest solo GM clears. I have not looked at these profiles to see if they're on console or not. I don't know if Joe's on console. Maybe he can let us know. Any player that's on console within the top 16 places, you can let us know down below if you are, and then we can sort of discover who is the best console player for GMs. It could be Senna. I don't know. I personally know him as well. He's just incredibly consistent. 419 solo GMs. 17th place, Max 456. 396 clears. Patty, 355 clears. Guardian 6168 is 353 players. I don't think that's Esoteric. I don't think that is. Esoteric's down. He's on this list. Of course he will be. Meta, 20th place, 352 clears. And then, as I dub myself King of the North, because I like to regionally dissect if I'm the king of my area, and I think I am the king of my area. So 21st place, 349 clears. Why didn't I just go for 350? Maybe I'll quickly do it right now and come back for the video. I don't know. Joint. I'm joint with Screws Loose 81. I would be, wouldn't I? With 349. Unknown 21. Right, let's play some bets. Whoever wins the name, I'll give you 69 quid if you can guess who this unknown player of descent is. 349 clears. 24th place at Soviet Takeover is 345. BMW, a car, again, TX. He's always been top 100. 311 clears. Zamf, 296 clears. Joint with a foreign name of descent, 296. Guardian at 290. That will be esoteric. Make no mistake, the guy doesn't just do solo GMs though. He's soloing raids and has done since he started his culture. Esoteric is the grandfather of solo culture in Destiny 1 and 2. He kickstarted my career off a little bit. The first Nightfall I saw him solo was Wretched Eye, because I needed help with it in 2015 or early 2016, one of those years. And I seen him solo Wretched Eye, he used abilities only, no guns, and that inspired me to start making content. So if it wasn't for Esoteric, you wouldn't have me in my capacity on my little area of what I do. So you need to thank him for that. And it's not just me he's maybe inspired, he's inspired lots of players to solo in Destiny 1 and 2. He started a culture off. I believe that's SO anyways. Pretty sure it is. Zealous 77, 29, 282 clears. Special Hero at 278 clears. Look, he's got a little emoji and he even matches his armor. I don't know how he's pulled that off. Special Hero is one of the upcoming best players in the world. I can foresee him doing very well on the contest raid for Edge of Fate and probably potentially even winning it. It's sort of like the calm before the storm with him, like what Salta Grapo was like in 2019-20, before he won Vault of Glass. The writing was on the wall. He was already starting to become very good at the game. Then he went on to win 3 or 4 raid belts. The same thing's going to happen with Special Hero, where he's probably going to end up winning loads of raid belts. I don't know who the team he's in, but in terms of him himself, his ability is off the charts, and he's the next up-and-coming best player, or one of the next best up-and-coming players to win stuff in Destiny 2. If Destiny 2 still exists by next year, I foresee him to be winning a lot of things. He's a step above everybody else, like just that bit of a step, and it makes a difference. It really does. And he stresses himself. This is what he goes back to. You need to stress yourself in D2 to get better results in the end. And he keeps stressing himself every week. He plays like it's a new raid every week. He's going for these times. He's stressing himself. He's giving himself a goal. He's not just wandering the streets. He's giving himself a goal. I'm not giving him... It's not me like I'm shouting him out or anything. It's just like I know that you can foresee what's going on with him. And it's not just him. Naki Veen, 31 place at 2201, 277 clears. Arch Eskimo, 276 clears. Kanti at 276. Goosters, 34 place at 271 clears. ATP at 269 clears. And bear in mind with ATP, a lot of those clears were Hunter. And as I've told you, Hunters for GMs are the worst class for overall soloing in Destiny 2, and that is true, and I'm sure ATP would agree with me on that. But he's a Hunter main, and he's loyal to it, and he still makes content day one stuff work on a Hunter, and he'll do anything it requires of him to make sure he pulls it off. But I'm pretty sure he would agree with me that Hunter's the weakest class. That just makes him better, by the way. His name's better now. Like his profile, it's making him... I'm glazing him a bit because he's playing on the worst class, but he still achieves day one content. And solo. There's a lot to be said. John at 36 clears, 254. Gorilla Mobster at 253 clears. This guy's over the age of 50. I don't know if he's above 55, but he's early 50s. This guy's in his 50s and he's out clearing a lot of you younger players in your 20s and 30s. And he had a serious illness. And that goes a long way with me because I've had family members with serious illnesses. And, there's something to be said. So how is he doing it with a serious illness? He has got a serious illness. Gorilla Mobster has. Look into it and you'll find out that he does. So he needs to be congratulated for what he's achieved in the game. To do 253 solo GMs ill is a no mean feat. Exoforce 2, 244 clears. 39th place, Ren at 243 clears. 40th place, Foreign Name at 240 clears. 41st place, QPIVT, 236 clears. Nicky stats 235 clears. Get It Twisted at 43 place, 234 clears. 44th place, Vendetta, 231 clears. Now, Vendetta is, again, he's on the main light as like what ATP is. He's extremely versatile on what he plays, but he's very good on a Hunter. He's good on all classes, but he seems to still excel on Hunter, despite Hunters not being as strong as the other two classes when we really dial in and look at them. And Vendetta just ends up, although he's extremely good on Titan as well. So Vendetta's in a sort of weird spot where he was a Hunter main, and then when Titan was meta, he was so incredibly well good on Titan as well. And it's just like a lot of these clears are challenge runs. He's done a lot of challenge runs as Vendetta in the past. I remember seeing them. I remember he done a Chaos Reach Glassware solo GM when Chaos Reach was bad in PVE. That's going back after COVID, 2022 days, before all of the big 3.0 classes, I think. I've seen him do some crazy things in the game. 45 place, Bugger Lover at 230. 46 place, 229 clears. 47 place, an emoji. He's flexing. 228. Cree at 49th place at 224. He's a subscriber of mine. That's crazy. And with the way the guy talks to me, I would never have realised that he had that many clears. But because he's so nice, I would never have expected him to have that many amount of clears. And he's a subscriber of mine, and I didn't know he had that much. I'm pretty sure it's who I'm thinking. And that's a crazy amount. And he's humble. He asks advice from me. Maybe he doesn't need advice from anyone. He clearly doesn't. Because look at that. Guardian 9615224 clears joint. 51st place Hakamara 55 at 221 clears. Milo at 221 also. Sutek 219 clears. He's the same vein of light as Special Hero, where he's the next up and coming players to be starting to win raid belts, because he's got not just skill and knowledge, but he's got talent that can't be taught. Special Hero's got it as well. A lot of you don't have it. I don't even think I've got that talent. I've got more hard work over the amount of years and years and years, whereas Sutek's just got an inbuilt talent to him. And don't get me wrong, he works hard at it as well, but when you combine talent, skills, and knowledge all in one package, you will be top 100 player in the world. That's when you combine everything. Yeah, Cross 215. Kraus, not Aster Cross. No. This is Kraus, 215 clears. Courageous Boss, 214 clears. He is in the same light as Kia players. So I look at Kia players, Courageous Boss. These two players are the most similar profile of gameplay style as mine. They really, not that we're copying off each other, and that's nothing to do with it. It's play style, and his play style is very similar to mine. And same with Kia players. And he's got YouTube, so make sure you follow those two players as well. I always look at them. I always check their runs. Capo, joint, 55th place, 214. An unknown player, 57 place, 213. Gamble, 20 quid, says who? What's the name? Guess the name. Saint G1, 58th place at 208. 1 second 13 at 206. 60th place, I can't pronounce this, 205. 61st place, Nasukun at 200 clears. This guy might not have as much clears as the others, but I can tell you, I've kept an eye on this player for probably 3-4 years, and he always solos GMs day one. And he's very consistent and barely dies. I know this because he uploads his GM right after reset very quickly. That tells me he done the run first or second go every single damn week. He never misses. And this player is also similar profile to me in terms of play style. And he's very technical. You won't know who he is. Well, you should do. You should know who he is. I know a lot of these players. Eneret at 200 clears joint. 63rd place, the Reaper, 198. 64th place of Name of Foreign Descent, 196. 65th place, V at 193. Killing for Cade. Keeping Cade's memory living. 66th place at 192. 66th place, joint Scuba. And joint with a foreign name. All at 192. Packets. 187, 69th place. This king will go down, and he looks like he might keep his 69th place. He can trade with me. I'll take the 69th place. He can have my 21st if he wants. 70th place, Shorty at 185. 71st place, joint 3 times between Spruce, Yum, and Beanhawk at 182. Laurie at 180. 74th place. 75th place, Big L, 682, 177. Rora 175. Manyface 175 at joint at 76. 78th place is tied 3 ways with a player that's flexing with 3 dots, and then Miss Blitz 6 because she's using Roman numerals 174, and it's Philly 174. All right, so Miss Blitz, she's a female player. How many female players are in top 100? Come to me, tell me the names, because it doesn't look like there's a lot of female players in the top 100. Why is that female players? Why are you not stressing yourselves enough? I think a lot of female players in 2025. There are some, there's not enough of yous stressing yourselves. I guess a lot of female players don't play Destiny 2. Why is that? Why are you not stressing yourselves? Female and male, look, whatever gender you're on, it doesn't matter. Like, it's all about stressing yourself. Are you stressing yourself enough? Why is it the majority of these players are male? We are assuming that they are male, but they've got male names, and I don't foresee a lot of female players calling themselves by a male name. Miss Blitz is in the title, Miss. It's not Mr. Blitz, it's Miss. So look, female player, they've stressed themselves. It's Philly. I know this guy also on YouTube, and he's very good, especially at dungeon DPS he specialises in, but he does specialise in solo GMs as well. But what I look for him mostly is when a new dungeon comes out and he comes up with a solo DPS Warlock strat for damage. He always is very exceptional at that. And also at GMs as well. 81st place, Feliax at 171. Amdam 170, French player. I also know this player. See, I know most of these players. This is an upcoming player that's going to, I don't know what clan or team he plays in, but he is in the same light as Special Hero and Sutik, where he's an up-and-coming player. I don't know his age. I would guess he's low-end 20s, but his reactions are exceptional, and he's very good on a hunter. He's good on all classes, but he's extra hot on a hunter. His GM videos are doing really well view-wise as well. He pulls his weight and he stresses himself. That's why he's so damn good. Vessery at 83rd place, 169. 84th place, a foreign name player at 168. Idob at 167 clears. 86th place, Joe Desu at 164. 87th place at Lan Mandalorian. Let's call him Mandalorian. 162 place. 88th place, Cold at 161. Foreign player at 158 clears, 89th place. Joint with SA at 158 players. Toxic, he's a German player, I believe, and I've also spoken to this player. He's also a very good player, and I've seen him play. The Germans are good. Some of the top high-end German players are very good at the game. They're clinical. He's 157. I think he's German. If I've got it wrong, I'm very sorry, but I'm pretty sure he is. There's all these players to keep a track on. 92nd place, Rai Cornelius Jr. I wonder where his brother is. 155 clears. Helmy at 155 clears joint. Foreign player at 154 clears at 94th place. Joint with another player with some sort of cryptic Egyptian, I don't know. 154 clears. 96th place, Xperia at 153 clears. Sherpa Mind at 151 clears. This guy might also be a Sherpa player as well. I haven't looked at that, but it's in his name. It might be. He might be. 97th place, End at 151 clears joint. Let's see. I'm only, like I say, announcing the top 100. I know there's other players. 99th place, Mighty Beast at 149. And finally, 100th place, as of today, 4th of July, 12:51 my time, Weedus Spick 90 at 148 clears. That is the top 100 for GM.report. So, yeah, it's an end of an era. That's what that is. It's kind of an end of an era, but a beginning of a new one, because you're going to be able to customize GMs. All right, so let's first... is this loading? Yeah, here we go. So all of my GMs are here. I'm plugging it. My first ever solo GM video-wise was Colony. I've been a Colony loyalist all this time. I was doing blue and green gear freaking solo GMs all the way back Garden World. We've done loads and loads and loads. Fun fact, I had to buy an extra editing software to do the old solo GMs because they would take more than 60 minutes because PS4 could not render a video over 60 minutes. So I had to actually upload solo GMs in 2 parts. It's kind of crazy. So look, we've done all of the solo GMs. There's loads and loads. How many videos? 208. Obviously, this isn't all my clears. And not every video is on here because I didn't add every single one. But a lot of them are. You know, we've done a lot of stuff. People comment me over the years recently, do a GM with this, do a GM with that. I've done all the GMs you could ever imagine. Look, Truth, 3 years ago, when Truth was rubbish. Yeah? Arbalest, when that came out, all of a sudden that's kickstarted a meta. So that's a plug. What I will say about GMs, so let's just briefly go through the history, not too much, because that would require a separate video, which I might do, I might not, we'll see. 2019, GMs launch with Shadowkeep. Shadowkeep GMs, first play in the world to solo Insight Terminus. The first GM ever was Esoteric. He came up with a Warmind Cell strat to de-aggro and debuff and blind the enemies to capture the plates. You needed a Warmind Cell build to do it. He was the first player to ever solo it. Then GMs were tough from 2019 to 2020 to 2021, all the way into Beyond Light. They then got nerfed. Now, pay attention to this. GMs got nerfed indirectly because of a resilience fix. Resilience was bugged in Destiny 2 from 2019 to Season of the Haunted. Season of the Haunted launches and they buff resilience in the game. This indirectly fixed Grandmaster Nightfalls. So what I'm saying is, Grandmaster Nightfalls from 2019 to Season of the Haunted, that was an era of time that was very difficult to solo GMs. Armin GT, TJ, all these players, only so many players could solo GMs. There was only a couple, not many. Yeah, that's how it went. Season of the Haunted made GMs significantly easier after that. Then you started seeing many more players solo, and they were still tough, but then they got easier and easier over time, and now we're in 2025, and now they are at the all-time easiest than ever, as opposed to what we've had in the past. Like, Devil's Lair, old school Devil's Lair is harder than any GM right now on this season. The old school one. Look at how long it took me. 38 plus 35, well over an hour. Yeah. So these were taking me, look at this, an hour and 40 minutes. That wasn't me. That was the average time back then. Everything's changed. So that's the brief history of that. So let's just talk now a bit about this image here. So this is how Bungie, this is the cheat code for Bungie to nerf. If they want to nerf me, this is how they go about it. Imagine this cube is a 3D cube in Destiny 2. It's 4 foot by 4 foot. So 4 foot down, 4 foot across. That's the size of the cube, right? Imagine that in Destiny 2. Now, plonk me right in the middle of that. That's me, that's my logo. And then put an Overlord Minotaur in there. This is the only way that Bungie will be able to nerf me for GM or Ultimate content, is by putting me in a 4 foot by 4 foot cube of death, and I've got to balance and dance around this Overlord. Only then will I struggle in the game. Every time you fight a champ, you get a 3D cube around you and you've got to do this. Only then I will die. If they don't do this in Edge of Fate, it won't matter to me what the hell the sandbox is. It can be blue geared if it wants. I'll still find a way to succeed, because you need will, desire, and you need to stress yourself in D2. I've done a lot of stress in D2, increasing skill over the years, and you indirectly get good at what you do. And that's just a good side effect of good stress. You need to stress yourself enough. But what I'm saying is, the only way I'm nerfed is this. So Bungie's got the code. They can save the JPEG image. They've got it. They can screenshot. So for once, they're screenshotting my videos to find out how to nerf me. Look, there's the cheat code. Will they do it? They won't do this. Does Ultimate Mode have this? If Ultimate Mode has this, then we're knackered, yeah. If Ultimate Mode, if you can do damage in anything at all, anything is possible. Raid mechanics is different. If you can't bypass a raid mechanic, then it's not solo possible. But if mechanics are possible and you can do damage, anything is possible in this game. The only thing is patience. You need a hell of a lot of patience. Players who do not have patience will never be able to get world records, never be able to push themselves because they don't have enough patience. Some of you don't even have enough patience in a fire team, let alone trying to solo anything at all. A lot of patience is needed. Patience with yourself. If you've got lots of patience for yourself, you'll go far. Even if your skills are a little low, you'll still be able to get up them ranks. However, if you're really good at the game but lack patience, what you'll find is you'll only solo something once or twice and then leave it and then go to something else. Whereas more patient players will beat the drum every week after every week and keep going and going and going and going. And that's how they basically are successful. So that's that. GMs, like I say, they're not getting sunset exactly, but yeah, that's exactly. You're going to have customized Grandmaster content for all activities in the portal, basically. That's the thing going forward. Let's just take a couple of moments to realise and recognise the era that we was just in. Maybe stroke this thumbnail, because if it wasn't for GM content, I might not exist in this capacity right now today. GMs kept us going for the amount of time. Obviously, I've covered other things in the game over the years, lots of things. But GM's been our bread and butter for the foreseeable time. And, you know, thank GMs for that. There has been issues with GMs over the years, yes, and there are right now. But it's kept the drum going for players. And we're issuing a new era in. You are going to have to seek out way more video content than you have in the past, because you're going to need to know the knowledges of some of the players about GM mods that you should be using in Edge of Fate, because I'm right on that stuff. That is my hot stuff. I'm right on it, instantly testing that. Sometimes I'll sacrifice other things in the game like loot and stuff just to test a mod. Mod testing is far more important than anything else in the game for me, because I'll get the loot in the end anyways. Loot's secondary, testing is first. So pay attention to players who are testing these mods. Watch the solo players. That will then help you discover on what mods you should be running for GMs and ultimate content. That's the information on this. Let's issue the new era in. Sad times for the old node, but we've given it a good send-off with a 38-minute video. That was the video on this. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.